Tony stood there, still holding the smoothie, watching Yelena's back as she tried to walk away. Jealous, he repeated. Of what? She stopped, her fists clenched, and then slowly, she turned around. You never looked at me like that, she said quietly. Tony blinked. Like what? Like the way you look at her, Yelena said, each word sharp as glass. I saw you. On the floor. With Natasha. You were, kissing her like she was the only person on Earth. Like she was gravity. Like she was home. Tony's lips parted, a breath caught in his throat. I wasn't spying, Yelena continued, jaw clenched. I brought food. For you. Because that's our thing, right? We do that. You joke, I roll my eyes. We eat. We train. We don't talk about what any of it means. She looked away for a second, then back. And I just keep wondering, Yelena continued, her voice rising slightly, but still steady. Controlled. Why didn't you ever kiss me like that? Why didn't you ever even try? Why didn't you ever make a move on me? I'm not so good with feelings, but I did try to. Yelena, is it because I'm not her? She snapped. Because I'm not graceful like Natasha. Because I am not good with words like Natasha, or because I was just a mission partner? Or is it because she's more beautiful than me? Damn it. I was so busy with work. Trying to make the world a better place and... Tony stepped forward, shaken now. What? No. God, no, Yelena, then what? She asked, voice cracking now. What did I do wrong? I trained beside you. I bled for you. I stayed beside you more than she ever has. I was there. Every day. And I thought, her throat tightened. I thought I mattered. Tony took another step, but slower this time, cautious. His voice softened. You do. You do matter. She laughed bitterly. Funny way of showing it. Tony finally set the smoothie down and ran a hand through his hair. You don't get it. I didn't stay away because you didn't matter. I stayed away because you do. Yelena, you scare the hell out of me. You see through all the bullshit. You don't give a damn about my money or my tech. You talk to me like I'm just a guy. Like I'm just Tony. Not Stark. Not Ironman. Just me. Yelena's eyes shimmered, but she blinked hard, swallowing it. That's not an excuse, she said. I know. I know it's not. But it's the truth. He paused. Natasha and I. We've been dancing around each other for years. It's easy to fall into that. Habit. Familiarity. Pain with a smile. He took a breath, voice quieter now. But with you, it's something else. Something I didn't see coming. You challenge me. You fight me, not just in the training room. And yeah, maybe I avoided you because I didn't know how to handle that. Or what to do with it. She looked down at her boots. You should have just told me. I should have, he agreed. But I didn't know how. I am not good with emotions like this. I was in love with Natasha way before the Red Room thing. Then, the last 2.5 years. You came into my life. You made me feel things, complicated feelings. The same way Natasha made me feel. I was afraid. Afraid. She whispered. Yeah. Afraid of breaking both your and Nat's hearts. That's why I never made a move against any of you. I just kept it locked up and went on doing what I do best. Create things. Then, today when Nat came at me. Like. I just couldn't. It just happened in the spur of the moment. Tony did his best to explain. Yelena didn't respond at first. Her eyes were locked on Tony's face, searching for something, maybe the truth, maybe a lie, maybe just a reason to walk away without looking back, and then the door behind them opened, soft footsteps, they both turned. Natasha stood there. No smirk. No mask. Just, her gaze flicked from Tony to Yelena. And she already knew. She had probably known for longer than either of them admitted. Maybe that's why she'd made her move today, because she'd seen the shift, felt the distance. Natasha crossed her arms, her voice calm. Yelena. I need to ask you something. Yelena blinked. Now's not really, do you love him? Natasha cut in. The room went still. Tony froze. Yelena stiffened like she'd been slapped. What? I said, Natasha repeated, stepping closer, do you love him? Not the way you love being right. Not as a way to beat me at something. Not because he makes you laugh when you forget how to smile. I mean really love him. Like, you'd let him see the parts of you no one else gets to see. The broken ones. The scared ones. The ones you bury under sarcasm and widow pride. Yelena's jaw tightened. That's not fair, she said quietly. No, it's not, Natasha agreed. But I'm asking anyway. Yelena looked away, her chest rising and falling with unsteady breath. You think this is about beating you? Natasha shook her head. No. I think, you don't even know what it's about yet. And maybe that scares you more than it scares him. Tony watched in silence. He didn't move. This wasn't his moment. Yelena looked at Natasha again, and something shifted. Less anger. More pain. More truth. Yes, she said finally, voice raw. I love him. Silence. Natasha didn't flinch. Didn't back down. Then you should have said something, she said gently. Before today. I didn't think I had to, Yelena whispered. I thought it showed. In the way I stayed. In the way I fought. In the way I never asked him for anything but time. Tony stepped forward now, slow and careful. And I should have seen it. But I didn't. That's on me. Yelena met his eyes. Does she win now? It's not a competition, Natasha said softly. It was never supposed to be. Yelena scoffed bitterly. Maybe not for you. And with that, she turned and just walked a few steps, creating a little distance between them. There was a moment of silence. Tony sighed, running a hand through his hair again. Natasha walked to his side and looked at the half-spilled smoothie still sitting on the floor. She made that for you, she asked. Every day, Tony replied. Natasha nodded once. Then quietly, she's not wrong, you know. Tony frowned. About what? You being scared of her, she said, turning toward him. Because she sees you. Not the version you try to sell. The real one. Tony didn't argue. She deserves better than this mess. She deserves honesty, Natasha said. So do I. Tony looked at her, eyes tired. What do we do now? There was a moment of silence. Natasha broke the silence first. Okay, she said, calm, steady. Let's stop pretending. Tony tilted his head. Pretending. She walked to Yelena. You love him. Yelena tensed, not backing away from the truth anymore. Yeah. I do. Natasha looked at Tony next. And you love her. He hesitated, but only for a breath. Yeah. She nodded, then looked between them. And you love me. Tony's voice was quiet. Yeah. Natasha took a breath and dropped the bomb. Then let's stop trying to choose. Both Tony and Yelena blinked. What? Yelena said, voice sharp with disbelief. Natasha didn't flinch. We live in a world that tries to shove people into one box. One path. One answer. But we're not normal people. We were made to survive impossible things. So maybe, we stop playing by normal rules. Yelena stared at her like she'd grown a second head. Are you saying we, share him? Natasha shrugged, calm. Yes. Tony's eyes went wide. Wait, hold on. No. Yelena cut in, stepping forward. You're not serious. I am, Natasha said plainly. I've seen the way he looks at you. I've felt the way he looks at me. And I've watched both of you suffer trying to dance around each other like this won't explode eventually. So, why not make our own rules? Yelena looked like she couldn't decide if she was about to laugh or hit something. That's insane. Probably, Natasha admitted. But I'd rather be insane with a little bit of truth than sane with a pile of regret. Tony finally found his voice. Are we really having this conversation right now? Do you want us to stop? Natasha asked. Tony rubbed his face. I don't even know what the hell to say. Yelena crossed her arms, still reeling. You're really okay with this? With just handing him over half the time? I'm not handing anyone anything, Natasha said. We're choosing. Together. Or we're not. But let's stop pretending we don't all feel it. Yelena paced, clearly overwhelmed. You think this is some cute solution to make everyone happy? No, Natasha said. I think it's a shot at not losing each other. That's all. Tony looked at Yelena, his voice soft now. I didn't mean for this to happen. I didn't mean to hurt you. She turned to him, eyes locked. But you did. I know, he said. And I'll regret it for a long time. But if there's a way through this that doesn't involve losing either of you, I want to try. If you do. Silence fell. Heavy. Real, Yelena looked at Natasha again. You're sure? I am, Natasha said. I've watched you chase death for so long. Maybe it's time we try chasing something else. Yelena didn't respond right away. But something in her eyes softened. Just a little. I'm not promising anything, she muttered. This is stupid. Most things worth doing are, Natasha replied. Yelena looked at Tony again, then back at Natasha. She exhaled. If he messes this up, we bury him, Natasha said without missing a beat. Tony raised both hands. Noted. Yelena sighed and sat down heavily on the couch. I need vodka. Natasha grinned and dropped next to her. We all do. Tony looked between them, half stunned, half speechless. So, this is happening. Yelena reached over and grabbed the smoothie. I'm drinking this out of spite. Tony smiled. Please do. Natasha leaned back, folding her arms. Welcome to the weirdest love triangle in history. Yelena took a sip and muttered, more like a triangle that just decided to be a straight-up trident. The metal walls were quiet, almost too quiet. The only sound was Norman Osborn's slow, shallow breathing. He lay on the floor, chained, broken. His voice was gone from hours of screaming. No one came. No one listened. Now, he had no more strength to beg. The door slid open. Tony Stark walked in. Calm. Focused. He didn't say anything at first. He just stood there, watching the men who had once called himself untouchable. Norman lifted his head slightly, eyes bloodshot and sunken. Please. He croaked. Please save him. Save my boy. Tony stepped closer, his voice low. What would you give me, Norman? For Harry's life. Norman tried to sit up, but the chain pulled tight around his neck. He choked and coughed, collapsing again. Anything, Norman whispered. Anything you want. Just name it. Tony crouched down in front of him, looking him in the eye. I don't want money. I don't want your company. I want the truth. Norman blinked. What? I want your confession, Tony said. I want names. Every partner. Every official who backed you. Every scientist who helped you torture those people. Every secret lab. Every hidden file. You're going to tell the world what you did. All of it. Norman's lip trembled. They'll kill me. Maybe, Tony said. But you still get a choice. You give me everything, I save Harry. You stay silent, I walk away. They will kill him too, Norman replied. I'll kill them. I'll kill them all. Then, I'll let Harry go. Here he's safe. So, you have 10 seconds. Norman's breath was ragged, chest barely rising under the weight of exhaustion and despair. Tony remained crouched, unwavering. You have 5 seconds left, he said. Norman's lips trembled. Promise me, he whispered, voice like broken glass. Promise me you'll protect him. That Harry gets a life. A real one. Away from this. Tony didn't hesitate. He'll never see a cage again. He'll get treatment, education, freedom. No labs. No manipulation. He'll never become you. Norman closed his eyes, a tear slipping out. His voice cracked as he breathed, "Then I'll give you everything." Tony stood, ice cold. Good. 30 minutes later, broadcast room. It was a clean, white room with a table and a chair. On the table was a handgun. The light was bright. The cameras were set up, the door opened, and Norman entered the room. His wounds were healed up, a last bit of mercy from Tony, and to make it look like his confession was real. Injuries and all would make people question the credibility of the confession. He sat in the chair. His eyes went toward the gun. He knew what he had to do. Then he looked toward the timer on the wall. Timer, 04. 03, 02. 01, 00. The red light blinked. Live global broadcast, unknown signal origin. The feed cut into screens around the world. Emergency signals were scrambled. Firewalls bypassed. Every major government channel, news station, and military feed lit up at once, and then, Norman Osborn's face appeared. He looked directly into the camera. Calm. Pale. Worn. My name is Norman Virgil Osborn. CEO of Oscorp. Former defense contractor. Former scientific advisor to multiple global coalitions. A pause. And I'm here to confess to the crimes I committed in the shadows of power. He exhaled. Slow. Controlled. I greenlit human experimentation across 5 continents. I funded off-books programs in partnership with Black Ops agencies, Hydra remnants, and rogue national actors. I tried to recreate the super soldier serum, not for peacekeeping. For control. We called it the G serum. It failed. Over and over again. Dozens died in agony, mutated beyond recognition. Norman glanced at the desk briefly, then back to the camera. General Ross authorized experiments on civilians. Veterans. Children. He approved Hammer Industries' cybernetic augmentation trials in Eastern Europe, and when it failed, we erased all the traces and cut our ties with Hammer Industries. Biochemical enhancement trials in Indonesia. Genetic therapy trials in the US prison system. All without consent. He began listing names: Dr. Gavin Spears, head of bioaugmentation research, now operating out of Singapore under a false name. Senator Dwight Coulter. He funneled black funds into Oscorp's shell programs through the Atlantic Defense Initiative. General Thaddeus Ross. He oversaw and approved tests on prisoners and dissidents in exchange for off-record military results. Dr. Orlando ran neuroadaptive control tests on chemically suppressed subjects. Berlin. Bucharest. Jakarta. Norman folds his hands briefly. We weren't alone. The system was built to protect us. Governments, private contractors, intelligence agencies, they all looked the other way. Or cashed in. He takes a long breath. General Ross wanted to take over S.H.I.E.L.D. So, we planned to kill Peggy Carter and the World Council members. Ross succeeded in killing and replacing a few members. But we eventually failed to kill Peggy. As for the corrupt new members, I'm pretty sure Mr. Fury will take care of them. And the attack on S.H.I.E.L.D. was also our doing. Another brief pause. The operation cost dozens of lives. Norman leans closer to the camera. His voice softens, almost a whisper. To my son, Harry. I don't expect forgiveness. I only hope that your future is not shaped by my sins. That you're given the chance to live free. To be better than I was. A pause. His fingers hover above the weapon beside him. This isn't redemption. This isn't courage. It's the bare minimum. The truth. Everything I built was a lie. And I refuse to let others hide behind it any longer. He picks up the gun. To those watching this, you know who you are. You helped me build this. You watched it grow. You used it to profit, to silence, to kill. You think no one can touch you. His voice sharpens. But someone is coming. Not for money. Not for power. Just the truth. And they don't play by your rules. He takes one final breath. I have nothing left but the truth. I hope it burns the whole rot down. And after my death, all the information that I collected will reach cops and news stations, and S.H.I.E.L.D. Without thinking or saying anything, he pressed the gun under his chin and, bang, the camera feed cuts. Black screen. After a few minutes of static noise, the screen blinked back to life. A figure stood center frame, dressed in black combat gear, face hidden behind a tactical mask. No name. No insignia. Just silence. Then she spoke. This message is for every government, agency, and enforcement body that just watched Norman Osborn confess. Her voice was deep and crackly thanks to the voice modulator. All these years, you enjoyed and didn't bother to take proper steps. So, today, I will give you time. You have 5 hours. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. 5 hours to act. Arrest the people named. Freeze their assets. Secure every one of them. The evidence has been delivered. You have everything you need. A short pause. If you hesitate, if even one of them disappears, we will know. And then the Shadow Legion will take over. No threats. Just fact. We are not here to debate. We are not here to play games. We are the response to your failure. She took a slow step forward. To the corrupt, don't run. Don't hide. You've had your time. You built your power on fear, lies, and blood. But that time is over. Another step. No fortress can keep you safe. No ally will protect you. No deal will be accepted. A beat. To the people watching around the world, pay attention to what your leaders do next. Who moves? Who stays silent? Who protects the guilty? She tilted her head slightly. 5 hours. That's your window. The screen cut to black, then a timer appeared. 4 to 59 to 59 under it, in white block letters, Shadow Legion, Operation Clean SLATE. The world had been warned. U.S. military black site, undisclosed location. Red emergency lights pulsed through the command center, bathing everything in an ominous glow. Screens showed the live feed that had just ended. Static buzzed for a moment before the command staff manually cut off the signal. General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross stood at the center of it all, stone-faced, jaw-locked, hands clenched behind his back. The room was filled with uniformed personnel, analysts, and intelligence officers, waiting for orders. He didn't speak immediately. He stared at the black screen with the ticking countdown, 4 hours 56 minutes and 42 seconds. Sir, an aide said, hesitantly. The president's demanding an immediate response. Every major agency's been compromised. The footage is authentic, digital forensics confirms it. Another officer approached. Interpol just issued a red notice for you, sir. And for Senator Coulter. Hammer's already been detained by MI6. Ross barely flinched. Tell the president to go to hell, he growled. The room froze. Ross turned, voice sharp and commanding. Secure all exits. Scramble the ghost team. Level 7 protocol. Burn everything. All data. All backups. If it's on a server, it doesn't exist in 10 minutes. But sir, the Shadow Legion, let them come, Ross snarled. We've got 2 teams of Delta Force, 4 CIA Special Activities Division squads, and a platoon of SEALs. They try anything, and we'll cut them down like dogs. He glared at his staff, eyes cold. Do I make myself clear? They hesitated. Ross raised his voice. I said. Do I make myself clear? The command staff stood at attention. Yes, sir. Then what are you waiting for? Move. The room dissolved into chaos as officers scrambled to carry out the general's orders.